Hello everyone, this is Professor Maloney, and today I'm creating a Microsoft Excel training video to demonstrate how each of the 4 modules of Excel training at the MindTap site for this class work. All right. Um, at the beginning of this class, I had mentioned to you that Windows 10 would be the easiest exam you took, and I explained why. I said there was one training activity for Windows 10 and it had 21 tasks, and then there would be an exam based on that one training activity and those 21 tasks. Then we got to Word, and I mentioned that Word would have 126 tasks of training, 6 times the amount of Windows 10, and there would be one Word exam based on all those tasks, 126. And I also mentioned to you that when it got to Excel, it would be even harder. So now there's 4 training modules for Excel, but now a total of 135 tasks, still one exam. And the one exam will have probably 30 to 35 or so tasks on it. But there's 135 tasks that you need to do to prepare, okay? All right, and this is of course a 10-week mini-term class, so you have a lot of work to do. I'm going to demonstrate now doing 8 tasks, probably 7 anyway, from each of those 4 training modules. And again, as you remember, or hopefully you remember, that the training tasks always have the practice and the observe in addition to the apply. So you can always just watch the observe if you don't understand how to do it, or the practice if you don't understand how to do it. But the bottom line is you must do the apply all the time, and that's why that's the default mode. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and share my screen now and go on over to MindTap and demonstrate how to start those training modules. All right, so I'm sharing my screen now. I'll hide that, come back to the content. I'll go over to MindTap and demonstrate these tasks. And I will, as always, in these video recordings that I do, show you 1 or 2 tasks probably from each of the 4 training modules where I show you how to, what the practice will do for you, or the observe, whichever I decide to do. All right. Okay. So Excel. Now remember too that you get, I didn't go into the syllabus this time. Let me just show you from in here. So in Excel, you'll see that these unlock March the 15th. Okay. Right now it's a couple days, it's a few days before then. It's March the 12th. So they unlock on March the 15th. And they're all due on March 28th because this is a 10-week mini-term class. So you have 2 weeks to do all that work, okay? And then the exam for Excel will be the next day, March the 29th, all right? And of course, it can only be done in class. All right, so Excel Module 1 training, all right? So first, I'll show you how many tasks are in this one after I start it up. Remember, you can do the training task as often as you want, and I highly recommend that you do them 3, 4, 5, or 6 times. And write down notes on the hardest activities. All right, so this one here, there's 38 tasks in Module 1 training. All right, I'm going to make this larger so that it can show better. Remember, you can move around the task instructions, and also I'm running this in a virtual machine. When you click on the Module 1 Start Training, you're opening a virtual machine. Remember, when I pull this thing down here now, oops, sorry. When I pull this thing down, see, this is a pop-up. So you need to allow your pop-ups, as I've said a few times now in class. All right, so this one's nice and easy. It just says, center the contents of cell C3 horizontally. Well, the way Excel works is there are columns, and they're all denoted by a letter above the column, okay? And you can actually go all the way over to A through Z, but then after that, it starts again, and then it's AA, AB, AC, and then all the way to AZ. Then it'll start again at BA, BB, BC, BD, all the way over to AZ. There are literally hundreds of thousands of cells in an Excel spreadsheet, okay, in one Excel spreadsheet. But anyway, all right, so, oops. All right, so they want me to go into, let's get this thing back over here. They want me to just center the contents of C3 horizontally. So here is column C, okay, and here is row 3. So where C column meets 3 row, that's the cell we're talking about, C3. And if you look up here, this thing is called the name box. Okay, if I hover, name box. Okay, so that is the name box. Now, I want to center the contents horizontally. So to do that, you just look over here in this alignment group, okay? And this thing here is center your content. So if I click it, it's done. Okay, done. All right. Now, next it says, hide the grid lines in the current worksheet. So grid lines are like when you are looking at cells, all those grayish lines you see, they're grid lines. Okay, you don't notice them when you're selected in a cell. Like right now I'm in cell E1. You don't see the grid lines because the dark green and bolded border around that cell is on top of those gray grid lines. Okay, so to hide them, we go to the view. Okay, so view. And then one of the choices in the show area of the view tab is grid lines. So right when I uncheck here, before it automatically goes to the next task, as you see I'm in the apply, that's the default mode, it's going to automatically go to task 3 in a few seconds. But if you look real closely, real quickly, you won't see the grid lines after I deselect this grid lines. Watch. Boom, see they're gone. Okay. All right. Now, so I said I'd do 7 or 8 tasks for each, so I'm on 3. Use the tell me box to change the fill color of cells in range B4 to D4 to black text 1 from the theme colors top row second option. Okay, so this is one where instead of me just telling you, they want me to go in here, and this thing is called tell me what you want to do. So that's the tell me box. So you click the tell me box, and then they're telling me to change the fill color. Okay, so but fill color is what they're putting in like with that black background. So I'm just going to type fill color right here. Oh, sorry. Well, you know, first I actually have to select B4 to D4 anyway, because when you want to do something, you have to have a selection. So B4 to D4, to select all 3, what I do is click in the first one, B4, and then click with this hollow white plus sign, if you will, when the cursor looks like that. Click, hold the left mouse button down and drag to the right once, drag to the right again. And that means all 3 of those cells are selected, B4, but also C4 and also D4. And that's what they want. And then now they want me to change the fill color. So this is where I now go into the tell me, and now it'll let me type fill color, okay? And then, excuse me, if I hover or click on cell, oh shoot, don't click on it, but hover on it. So hover on fill color, and then come over here. And if you click the greater than arrow, or again, just keep coming over, it says, now change the fill color of cells B4 to D4 to black text 1, but they tell me where it is. So here's theme colors. That's the top row in theme color. So that's this row up here, top row. And then they're saying the second option. So the second option is this one. So if I hover, you see it says black, comma, text 1. And that's what they want, black, comma, text 1. So you click that, and it's done. All right. All right. So now number 4, another easy one. Select cell D22. So here is cell D, or column D. Okay. Again, what I'm doing is purposefully clicking these things to show you guys. I'm just wanting to select it so you can then see it goes down and down and down. But so here is D, and here is row 22. So if I click this, it's going to be wrong again. So I'll just hover on it to select cell D22. So come over to where the D and 22 match up and click. And that's the answer. Okay. All right. So, and by the way, watch my Excel overview video really before you do the training video, so you understand what Excel is all about. All right. Okay. So in cell J5, enter the value 77,112, but enter it actually as text. So really, they just want me to type 77112, but they want Excel to treat it like text, not a number. So I'll show you how to do that. All right. So cell J5. So here is column J. Scroll down. Here is J5. Okay, look over here in the name box. If you hover, it says name box, and it's J5. So you see what they have down below it. You can tell they're zip codes, for one, because it says zip in this caption or headline type row up here on the top. And then you see some zip codes, and they all have this green thing, which basically is just telling you that it's not being treated the way it normally is. But they don't want this entered as a number, so I'm going to enter 77112, but I'm going to put first a single quote mark. So you see I just typed a single quote mark, and that's what you're seeing to the left of the cursor there, right where I'm hovering, just that little, it looks like a 1, but that is a, oh, you know what? I wonder, no, I can't make this bigger than 100%. I was going to say I can make it larger for you guys, but I can't, unfortunately, because they'll just mark it wrong. They won't let me do it. So anyway, so a single quote and then type 77112. Okay. Now, when I enter that, it is not going to treat it like a number. It's going to treat it like text. It won't change the answer. It's just now it's got that little green triangle in that one too. All right. See, and now though they're saying enter the number. So the first time, the last task, they said enter the number, or they said enter 77112 as text. And that's when I said you have to start it with a single quote mark. When you enter it as a number, so here they want me to go into D6, so here's D6, and they want me to type the number. Well, to type it as a number, you just type 491, enter. Okay, so now I've done 6 tasks. So this is number 7. All right, in cell B16, now finally they're creating, or they want me to create a formula using the sum function to total the values in the range B4 to B15. Okay, so in other words, right here, they have B4 through B15, and they all have numbers in those respective cells. It's B4, B5, B6, B7, B8, B9, B10, B11, B12, B13, B14, and B15. So those cells, okay, those 10 cells, they want me to put a total in cell B16. So I go to B16 and I type equal sum. Okay, and if you use the sum function in Excel, you start after you type the sum, the word, you know, the function name, you open the parentheses. So you got to say equal sum, open parentheses, as you see up here in the formula box. Okay, up here, formula address area. And now I just click from B4 and drag down, okay, to B15. Okay, then I have to end the open parentheses with a closing parenthesis and enter. Okay, it's done. So now we're in cell we're on task 8, which is the last one I'm going to do for the module 1 training. Now it says use the fill handle to copy the formula in cell B7 to cells C7 and D7. So what they're saying here is if I go to B and 7 and click in this cell called B7, if you look in the formula bar, which is this thing up here, it says equal sum, open parenthesis, B5 minus B6, close parenthesis. What that means is Excel went up here and it's using cell B5, okay, and it's subtracting B6 from it, and it's putting the answer right here, okay? So equal sum, open the parentheses, and then it's taking whatever is in cell B5 and then subtracting whatever's in B6 from whatever's in B5. And then once you close the parentheses and enter, you get the answer here. So now, though, they want me to use the fill handle to copy the formula in cell B7 to cells C7 and D7. So when you look at a cell, like if I click this cell up here, you see in the bottom right corner, just between that top left horizontal part of that line and the top center vertical part of that line that's on my cursor, that thin black plus looking sign, right between those two, in other words, in the top left side of that object, you see a green square. And the green square is just part of that cell. And when you click on it, it turns to what we call a fill handle. It makes it a fill handle. So I'm going to show you that, but over here. So they want cell B7. So again, if I click B7, you see that same green square. So I click right on top of it once the cursor looks like a thin black plus sign. So click and hold the mouse button down and drag to the right because they want it in C7, and drag to the right again because they want it in D7. And what Excel does is it copies that formula, okay, and then it applied it to C7 and it applied it again to D7. And with the fill handle, when it applies it, it modifies the answer to reflect the cells, the new cells involved. So it's a tremendous thing. But anyway, that's 8 tasks. So, okay, so I'm going to enter that or exit from this one. Oh, I got to enter from this top right X. So that, and now I'm going to get out of that one. Okay, I have done 8 tasks though, and they were done correctly. And now I'm going to do module 2 and demonstrate another 8 tasks. Okay, or at least 7. So start again. Remember, you can do these tasks as often as you want. Remember, there were 38 also. Sorry for saying remember twice, but there were 38 in module 1. Now there's 23. So 38 and 23 is 61. Okay, 61 total tasks, but there's still 2 other training modules after this one. So again, I'm going to enlarge the screen, that part, to show you everything. Now they're saying wrap the text in cell A6 so that all the text is visible in the cell. So here is A, here is 6. You see it says Anderson Wireless, and then you can't see what's beyond the CO. It's either CON or COM. But if you look in the formula bar, you see it says Anderson Wireless Communications. Okay? So what they want us to do is wrap the text so that all of those 3 words are visible in this cell. So all I need to do this is stay in my home tab right here. Okay? Come over to the alignment and you see a wrap text. And once I click it, you'll see then Anderson Wireless, and then communications will be on another line, but in the same cell. Okay, so wrap text. And you see right there, Anderson Wireless Communications. All right. Now, they want to use flash fill to fill the range E4 to E15 after typing curtis.g at rockland.com in cell E4. Okay? And Sal in cell E5. So in other words, first thing I got to do is go to E4. So here is E and here is row 4. So there's E4. Again, verify the name box says, excuse me, says E4. Excuse me. Need some water. Okay, so they want me to type curtis.g at rockland.com in this cell with a capital C for Curtis and a capital G after the period. So Curtis dot capital G @ rockland.com. And they said enter that. Okay, so enter that, and now it's entered. And then they say and enter Sal with a capital S in cell E5. So now I'm in E5, and if you notice here, Curtis is the person's first name. G, oh sorry, last name. G is the person's first name, but they're separating it with Curtis.G. So here they want us to type Sal. So Sal would be like Curtis, so the last name, but they're not having me type all of it. Just, well, actually, I didn't even need to type Sal. It's just already there. So that demonstrates flash fill. So what it's doing is it now took Salazar, just like it took Curtis, okay? Then it puts the period. Then it puts just the first letter up the first name, okay? Then it goes down here. It takes Arians, which is the last name. Then it puts the dot, the period, and then it takes P, just the capital letter up the first name, not the whole first name, and then etc. all the way down, okay? So that is that. Now, wait, it didn't, did I have to use slash fill to fill the range? Oh, I didn't enter yet. So once I enter, then it does that. Okay, so now it says it's complete. All right, okay, number 3. Enter a formula using arithmetic operators and parentheses in cell B14 that adds the monthly expenses in cells B9, B10, and B11, and then multiplies that result by 12. So what they're doing in this one, there's 2 things they're doing. One, they want me to enter a formula that does not use a function. In the last couple examples, they said use a function. And I think they said the sum function. So in this case, they just want me to use arithmetic operators and parentheses. So I'm not going to create a function. So the way I do this, well, first of all, of course, I've got to go in cell B14. So here is B, here's 14. And you see what they want is to project annual expenses. And how do we do that? They're saying add cell B9 plus cell B10 plus cell B11 and then multiply that result by 12. Okay? All right. And that's why they mention parentheses, because in the what we call the order of operations, which some of you might remember from high school algebra, order of operations means that multiplication and division occur before addition and subtraction, as an example. Exponentiations there. There's lots and lots of things there, but multiplication and division are higher in the order of operations than addition and subtraction. And because they want me to add these three values first, and with addition, that's lower than multiplication. So I have to put those in parentheses. Otherwise, the last one will automatically multiply against the number 12 first. And then it would add these two other numbers, which would not give the answer they want. So here's what I do. Equal, okay? And because they want me to use parentheses and they want me to do the addition first, I'm going to click right here. Well, first I'm going to open my parentheses and then click here. And I can just drag down here like this if I want to. So the equal B9 colon B11 means equals from B9 through B11, but it would add them up. So it's going to add them up. So I close that. And then multiplication in Excel is the asterisk. And I times that by the number 12. That will be it. Oops, no, they didn't want me to do it that way. So they physically want me to type in. They want me to do it a little bit longer winded, a little longer way. In other words, equal. They want me to just type them. So B9 plus B10 plus B11 close. Okay. So they want me to add these three up and then multiply, which is an asterisk, times 12. Okay. Now they're happy with it. The way I did it would work, but they want it done that specific way. All right, number 4 on module 2. In cell B19, create a formula by entering cell references that subtracts cell B6 from B5 and then subtracts cell B18. Since all of these are subtracting, there's no need for parentheses to separate things that you want to add versus those that you want to multiply. So I just go to cell B19. Okay, so here's B, here's 19, and type in equal. So I don't need to open and close parentheses because I'm not using parentheses. So entering cell references that subtracts B6 from B5. So they want me to say equal B5. So I can also point and click instead of typing. Like I can just click equal B5 that way. Okay. And it says subtracts B6 from B5. So here's B5, and then you just put a dash, which is a minus, and then you can click B6. Okay. So that one is going to be done. And then it says, and then subtracts cell B18. So another dash and click on B18 and just enter that. Voila. All right. All right. That's number 4. So here, now this one, they're saying use a function again. Anytime they tell you to use a function, like earlier they told us to use the sum function, I said you have to type equal and then the name of the function and then open parentheses. So in this case, we're going to use the count function. Okay, so we're going to type equal count and then open parentheses, and then I'm going to click in D5 and drag down to D18. I'm going to do this in D19. So here's D19. So I'm going to say equal count. Okay, open the parentheses. And I'm just going to click in D5. If they don't want me to do it this way, they can tell me again, but D5 through D18 and then close the parentheses. Okay. And what this is going to do, by the way, is not add these numbers up. So it's not going to get 21, 30, 39, 46, 53, 59, 64, 68, 71, 73, 75, 76, 77. It's not going to get that. It's going to tell me how many values there are. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. There's 14. All right. So once I enter this, again, if you look quickly, because it's going to run to the next thing, but it's going to show 14 right there. Okay. All right. So that's done. Now we're going to use, we're on number 6. So I'm going to keep doing this. Okay. So this one, number, all right. In cell F19, so let's go again here, F, and here's 19. Create a formula using the count A function. Okay. So the count A function is like the count function, but what it does is it does not count empty rows or empty cells. So it won't count this one, it won't count this one, and it won't count this one. So if it's the same thing where it was 14, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So it's 14 again, but it won't count this one, so it's 13 now. Won't count this one, it's 12. Won't count this one. So the answer here will be 11 because they don't want to count what we call null values, meaning there's nothing in it. All right, so I go down here and I say equal count A, open the parentheses. And again, I can do the range the same way. So F5 through F18, okay? And then close the parentheses. And that is going to be the answer, but here it'll be 11 instead of 14. See, 11, okay? All right, so now we're on number 7. I'll do 2 more again. For range B4 through B15, create a new conditional formatting rule that formats the top 5 values in the range with a blue accent 5 cell background color, 9th column, 1st row in the background color palette. So what this basically means is instead of doing a formula here that's going to calculate, a result from certain cells, they want me to use a conditional formatting rule. And the rule is going to look at all the values in the range B4 to B15. So what I'm going to do is select those that range first. So B4, and I just click down to B15. Okay. And now, if you look on the ribbon in the Home tab, you see conditional formatting. So let me move this over. So in conditional formatting, they want me to use a top 5 value. So it's not a highlight cells, it's top, but it's not top 10. It's not top 10%. It's not bottom 10. It's not bottom 10%. It's not above average. It's not below average. So it's none of those because it's top 5. Top 5. So that means I got to go to manage rules. Oh wait, sorry, more rules, because I'm looking specifically for top 5. So now, let's see. Okay, so all right, here you see where it says format values that rank in the. So I just got to change the 10 to a 5. So type that as 5 now. Okay. So format values that rank in the top 5. Now, if I wanted percent, I would put a check mark, but they didn't say percent. They said that formats the top 5 values. So basically, what are the top 5 values? Well, 36,000 for sure is one of them, or 36,350, because all these are in the 20s. This is 32, so that's probably one of them. So there's 2 of them. This is 30. That's now 3 of them. And all the, so 27, 24, 26, 20. So 27. So it's the 330s and 27 would be the answer. Oh, wait, that's 4. And then one more, maybe a 26,050. Yeah. So 26,050 and above would be the answers. Okay. But then also it says, how do I want to format them? So in the range with the blue accent 5 cell color, and it tells me the 9th column, 1st row in the background color. So I click here, okay, and they're saying they want it to be background color. So background color means the fill color, right? Fill means background. So once I click and I get fill here, now I look for what they're saying here again, 9th column in the 1st row. So this is the 1st row, and I'm looking for 9th column. Columns go up and down, okay? So this is column 1, column 2, column 3, column 4, column 5, column 6, column 7, column 8, column 9. Hover on that one. 1st row, column 9, it says blue accent 5, and that one says blue accent 5. So that's correct. And then they give a sample, and I just say okay. And then I got to say okay again because it just pulls me back to the previous picture. So I say okay. Yep. All done. All right, one last one, and then I'll go to the next chapter, next module. Apply the Berlin theme to the current workbook. All right, so here they want me to apply a theme to the workbook. So themes are in either page layout or view, probably page layout. Let's see. Yeah, themes. So page layout. Oh, you know what? I said I would do at least one each time, and I didn't in the first one. Let me do this from the practice to show you, because practice and observe are very helpful when you don't know things. I mean, obviously, I've been teaching this stuff for years and years, so I pretty well know it all, or know a lot of it. And I also teach advanced desktop applications, just to let you know, which is chapters 5 through 8. So in other words, it continues through modules 1 through 4, and then there's 4 more chapters in what we call an advanced class. That's CGS 2108. I'm teaching that right now this term as well. Anyway, so apply the Berlin theme. So I'll let them tell us with the practice, but basically, again, it's through the page layout, then you click the down button on themes, and then row 4, column 2 in the themes. All right, so let's go practice. Then you click this button.
Themes give worksheets a polished and unified look without requiring you to spend a lot of time formatting individual cells or objects. Click the Page Layout tab on the ribbon.
So if I would have clicked Observe instead of Practice, I'd hear that very same notation, but she would have clicked this for me. If you do the practice, the notation, sorry, not notation, narration. The narration is the same, but when she says click, I have to do it. And then she puts the red border around it, so click.
In the Themes group, click the Themes button.
Again, in the Observe, she'd say the same thing, but she would do it. And here I have to do it.
The Themes gallery is displayed. In the Themes gallery, click the Berlin option, row 4, column 2.
So row 4, remember rows go left to right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and columns go up and down. 1, 2. So she said row 4, column 2, and of course she puts it in the red border. That's what she wanted.
Excel applies the Berlin theme to the current worksheet.
And now you see what it does.
Note the changes in fonts, font sizes, and colors.
Okay. All right. So now we still have to do it though. So, but if we didn't understand it, we can go back and do the observe, but I'll just obviously go to the apply. So again, it's page layout, it's themes, and here's the instruction. Okay. So Berlin theme, row 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and it says Berlin, but it's also column 2, row 4. So row 4, column 2, and then you just verify it says Berlin, which it does. Okay. All right. So that's enough for chapter 2 or module 2. All right. Get out of that one. Get out of that one. And now I'm going to go to module 3. So remember, there were 61 total tasks, 38 from module 1, 23 from module 2. So that's 61. And now let's see how many in module 3. 61, 44. So 61 and 44, that's 105 now. Okay, and there's still another module. All right, so here, let's make it big again. All right, so rotate the contents up the cells in range A3 to D3 to exactly 45 degrees. So they're saying A3 to D3. So first you do that. So here's A, here's 3. But they said A3 to D3. So there's B3, C3, and D3. So what I did was I clicked in A3, kept the left mouse button down, and then drag to the right so that I'm selecting all from A3 to D3. So now they're selected. Now they're telling me to change the orientation. Okay, so the orientation is up here in the alignment group under where you see this AB and an arrow. This one's actually, that is 45 degrees, just to let you know. So technically, if I click this, it would be right, but they probably won't let it be right, but this is right. So I'm just going to click it just to show you. Okay, so clicking it, then, all right, if I do this one, actually, it's still right because that's 45 degrees. Okay, I know that for a fact, but they're not going to say it's right, but I'll then fix it after. Okay, so they say it's incorrect. It's not, but that's okay. All right, so click the down arrow on it. And we want to format the cell alignment so that we can put the number 45 in our cell. So format cell alignment. Okay, and this is where it was. If I click right here, you see it says that, and it says 45 degrees. That's exactly where it was So let's see if they let me do it this way. Otherwise, they want me to go 3 points up. They meant 3 points up from here. So here's 1 point up, here's 2 points up, and there's 3 points up. Okay, let's see if OK works. And it did. All right. So that's number 1 on module 3. Now, align the contents of cell B4 vertically using the bottom align option. So go to cell B4. So here's B, here's 4. Well, just look at all these, especially over here on the right. Zip is obviously on the bottom center. State, bottom center of the cell. City, street, phone, email address, they're all on the bottom center, okay? Here, you can't really tell because the content is so much that it's on 2 rows, within the one cell. Same here, and same here, and same here. But company name, they have a wider cell, and you see it's on the top. So all they want me to do is center it vertically using the bottom align. So these ones up here, this will say top align, this will say middle align, and this will say bottom align. So that's the one they want me to use. And then company name moved to the bottom. All right. Use the autofill feature to fill the range A4 to A15 with the names of the months in chronological order, starting with January in cell A4. Okay, so basically what they want me to do is type January. As long as I can type January correctly, and then you enter it. When you enter, then it moves you down to the next cell. Then you click back in A4, which is where you have to type January. Make sure you typed it with a capital J. I did. Now this little green square, remember, that's the fill handle. So I have to get on top of it. Okay, now click and now drag down. And you see as I drag once, it says February. Drag again, March. They want me to go all the way to A15. And that one's going to say December. Okay. Now when I release the mouse button, it's going to say January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, and December. And all I did was type 1 month, January. See my Excel overview video for more. All right. Number 4, fill the series in the range B5 to F5 using a growth trend with a step value of 1.1. So B5 to F5. So here is B5, and they want to go to F5. So they want me to basically be clicking here and going over. But here it's a little bit different because they want me to use a series in a range. Okay. So to do this one, I only need to, actually, let me see. I'm not sure if I want to. I'm not sure if I have to. I'm going to go ahead and click all of them, like click here and drag. No, because if I drag, it's going to copy it over. No, I just start right here. Okay, so start here on this one. And again, remember, you can do the observe or the practice. But I want to go to the fill. You see here, I'm in the home tab, fill. Okay, and if I click the down arrow for fill, all right, they want me to use a growth trend with a step value of 1.1. All right, so let's see here. Across, right, up. I'm going right. No, it's a series. Sorry. Yeah, the series. So this series here. Okay. Whoops. Okay. Series. And it's in a row because it is going across from B5 to F5. So that's correct. But they said a growth trend. So it's not a linear trend. It's a growth. Okay. This thing here is grayed out. So we don't do anything with it. We can't. It's disabled. Here, though, the step value, instead of 1, they want 1.1. Okay. And what that's going to do is basically make cell C5 will be 10% more than 85,000. So 10% of 85,000 is 8,500 if you're decent with math. 85,000 plus 8,500 is 93,500 if you're decent with math, and that would be here. And then 10% of 93,500 plus 93,500 would be here. So 93,500 and 9, because it's 9350, that's 102,350. Okay, and then we have another 350, so it's probably 102,700, and then we do it again with 10% more, and again with 10% more, but we just do it now. Oh wait, now I just, let's see, let me say, okay, you know what? I needed to do it the other way. I was wrong. Okay, yeah. So actually, so I am going to select all of them. So first select the range. So B5 to F5, okay? sorry about that, B5, F5, then go into my fill, and then I want to do a series, okay, and then make it a growth and use 1.1, okay, and the stop value, I don't need to put a stop value because I already have stopped at an F5, okay, so that's okay, that should be fine, and it's good. All right, number 5. Use autofill to fill range D12 to D19 with only the formatting from D11. All right, excuse me. So the range D12 to D19 with only the formatting from D11. So here's so 11. And then they want me to put this in that range. So I'm going to use my fill, but I'm not going to, this is going to get me a wrong answer. So I'm going to have to do something else after. So I'm clicking the fill handle. Remember the fill handle is that little green square, and they said from D11. So when I do this, what it's going to do, because it's only one number, it's going to put 57,500 here, 57,500 here, and here, and here, and here, all the way down to D19. And it's also going to put a $sign to the left of it. Okay, watch. But that's wrong. But they want me to do it this way. Okay, remember that changed some numbers, so that's not good. But this thing here, though, I click it now, and now they're saying with only the formatting. So fill formatting only. So when I click fill formatting only, then these numbers will change to the original numbers, but the $signs will still stay. Okay, so that, and now you see the same numbers that used to be there are there. All right, and again, you can do observe and practice. All right, so number 6 for module 3. Indent the contents of range A11 to A19 by a single indentation level. So A11 to A19. So select A11 to A19. And you see basically up here under cost, there's 2 things that are indented. And then they want these things, salary through insurance expense, to be indented under operating expense by a single indentation level. Okay, and that's over here in these things. This thing here indents, and this thing here decreases the indent. They said indent it a single level. So that means I just click this once. Boom. Now see it's indented. All right, that was number 6. Number 7. Move the contents of cell F11 to cell A17. So F11 is this one. Okay, so it's got the green border around it. Now I clicked in here. So move, that means cut. So you can cut from the scissors up here if you want. You can right click and cut. I normally use my shortcut keys. So like in my case, Control and the letter V. Okay. It may not let me do it though. So if it doesn't, by doing this, I know if it lets me or not. So move the contents. I don't see it indented. I don't see it, selected, or disabled now like it's doing it. So it may not do it, but I'll just click A17 and type V like Victor. So A17, Control V like Victor, and it didn't do it. So they're not letting me do that. So now I'll right click and cut. Again, you can do it this way. You can do it this way. I like to always change up and see what they'll let you do. No, they don't like that either. All right, so move the contents. You can also actually just click it and drag it over. Oops, no, you can't. They're not letting that happen either. All right, so I'll just click the cut from the scissors. Oh my gosh. Move the contents of cell F11. This is oh, I was in F10, stupid, sorry. This is F11. Oh my God. Okay, so here is F11. I was telling you guys, look at the name box after you do something. So I was in F10 right there. So F11. Now I'll try to do my Control X again, the way I like to do it. Yeah, now you see it's got that little rolling marquee. That means it's selected and it's doing what I want. And then I'll paste it over here in A17. A17 and Control V like Victor. So you can do it that way, or you can do it from the cut up there and then the paste, or the right click cut and right click paste. All right, this is the last one for me on this one, and I want to hurry up and get this done so I can move. I want to finish this training module now. And I got one more module to do. All right, copy the values and number formatting, but not the underlying formulas of G15 to I15 into data range B9 to D9. Oh, I don't know if I understand this one. Let's see. So copy the values. But remember, if I have to do it with their help, I'll do either observe or practice. Let me see. Copy the values and number formatting, but not the underlying formulas. So G15 to I15. So first, let me just select G15 to G15 to I15. So that's G15 to I. So G, H, and I. So select those three. So copy the values and number formatting, but not the underlying formulas. So these have formulas. If you look up here, you see a formula. Okay, so there's a formula for this one, a formula for this one, and a formula for this one in these three cells. But they just want me to copy, similar to what we did with that other one, where I ended up having to use the thing underneath. Oh, right here. Let me try this. Okay, yeah, no. No, that's conditional. I don't want that. Get rid of that. All right, so select all that again. Why would I? Let's see here. All right, so here I right-clicked, copy the values and number formatting. So paste options, maybe. No, no, not sure if I, can't know everything. All right, I'm just going to go ahead and use the observe this time, just to show you this one and see how it's a little bit different than this one. Observe is the more full one. It does everything.
When simply copying and pasting cell or range contents does not suit your needs, you can choose from many available paste options, such as pasting values without copying the underlying formulas. Click and drag to select cells G15 through I15.
So I did that, and you see this time, though, I don't need to do it. She does it for us.
This is the source range. Note that although cell G15 displays the value $49,268, that value is derived from the formula =sum, open parenthesis, G6 through G14, close parenthesis, as shown in the formula bar. Cells H15 and I15 contain similar formulas. In the clipboard group on the Home tab, click the Copy button.
So copy from in there.
Okay. Excel copies the source cell content to the clipboard.
Okay.
Click cell B9. You will paste the copied data into the range B9 through D9, starting in cell B9. In the clipboard group, click the paste arrow. The paste gallery opens. In the Paste Values section of the Paste Gallery, click the Values and Number Formatting option. Excel copies the source cell values and number formatting without the underlying formulas into the destination range B9 through D9. Note that the formula bar for cell B9 displays only the value 49268 with no associated formula.
Okay. All right, so again, you can then use it with practice if you want, where she'll tell you the same narration, but then when she tells you to point and click or whatever, you do that. But I'll just go straight over to apply now. All right, so pull this thing back up again. So copy the values and number formatting from G15 to I15. So here's G, here's 15, there's I15. So I selected those three, okay? Then she said, go to the copy up here in this group right here. So just copy that, okay? So that's copied. And then she said, go to the paste, the drop-down arrow, and she said, go to the one where the paste values have numbers, values and options. Let's hover on these to see. That's values. And this is values and number formatting. Copy the value and number formatting. So this one right here, okay? Oh, I didn't do that. I didn't put where I have to go. All right. So they leave this up because that it's not all done yet. Okay. So then I got to go actually, sorry, to B9. I don't think she said to select B9 to D9. I think she just said select this one. And because there's 3 selected here, it'll know to add the other 2. So click in there and then do the same, the paste option here, the paste values here. Okay. And now, yeah, so we put it in 1, but it did all 3. Okay. All right. So that's module 3 done, all 8. Remember, that's now 100 and I forget how many I said. It was 61 and 44. I think 105 is what it is so far. So let's go on over to module 4, the last module you have to do. And just to remind you, in module 4, you don't have a project to do, but in module 3, you have training and project. Module 2, training and project, plus practice exams, of course, in every one. And module 1, project and training. So only module 4 doesn't have a project, but it still has the training, and of course, it has the practice exam. All right, so I'm going to open up the training for module 4. You know, this is taking a little bit longer than I wanted, but I apologize for that, but it is still good you're learning. I mean, hopefully you're learning as you see this. Okay. All right, so here, group the October, November, and December worksheets. So down here where you see these things, these are called worksheets. So there's 4 worksheets, October, November, December, and Q4. Okay, they want me to group October, November, and December. So I click October. I can hold my shift button down and click November, and my shift button down and click December. So all 3 are selected, okay? October does not have a top line, so that's the one that I'm on, but all 3 are grouped, all right? So then in cell B9 on the October worksheet, I know I'm on October because there's no top button. So B9 right here, okay? But see, all 3 are still selected. Use the auto sum to total the values in range B6 to B8. So what the auto sum does is Excel, anytime you have numbers either above or to the left or to the right of any given cells that you're trying to do some kind of formula in, Excel will normally figure out what you want to do from some choices in the auto sum. So when I'm in cell B9, Excel, when I click the auto sum down arrow and then click sum, it's going to assume, and it's going to say, I think you want to tally up B6, B7, and B8 and put the result here. That's basically what they're going to say. Watch. When I click the sum, see what they're saying is, they're not saying, of course, but I mean, they put this rolling marquee, but they put text, equal sum, open, B6 to B8, close. So what they're saying basically is, I think you want to add the sum of these 3 numbers up and put the result in where you are. And I say, yes, that's what I want to do. So I just enter it. And there it is. Oh, but now, so it put the answer, but now it says ungroup the worksheets and switch to November. So I can right click, okay? If I right click on top of November, it's going to be where I end up going. And that's what they want me to do, so I'll do it. So right click and then select ungroup sheets. Ungroup sheets. And see, then November is selected because I did it from that one. All right. Next one. In cell B6, enter a formula using defined names to subtract direct costs from revenues. So go to cell B6 right here. Verify that you're in B6. You are, or I am. All right, so subtract direct costs from, they're saying from, so really I want to say equal revenues and then minus direct costs, okay? So right here I'm going to say equal, okay? And they want me to, instead of type B4, they want me to use a range name. So you see when I click it, it popped up as revenues because they already named B4 revenues. Even though I clicked on B4 and you see it here, but in the formula bar it's saying equal revenues. And since you see revenues as like a label, then logically they're telling us that the value to the right of that label is revenues, meaning it's B4. But anyway, so equal revenues, and then put a minus, the dash sign. That means subtract. And then they want to subtract direct costs, which is B5, from revenues. So this one now I say B5. Okay, and see it's saying direct costs. So the formula up here in the formula bar is equal revenues minus direct costs. That's what they want. So enter that. Done. All right. All right. Number 3. Share the current workbook on OneDrive with user1@cengage.com and add the message, please approve for distribution with the emailed workbook link. Whoa. Share. Well, share is from the file menu. Okay, so you can go to file and share. So that we can do. So share. Okay, so we're sharing. Now the current workbook, that's this workbook that's opened. Okay, so we're going to share this workbook and it's on OneDrive. Let's just do whatever first. We're sharing it with user1@cengage.com, and then we're going to add a message. So we're sharing it. Share. I'm going to type, I guess, user1@cengage.com. Okay, so share with that person. No, I didn't have to click it. Let's see. So type user1@cengage.com. Then enter. Let's see if enter does. No. Okay, I may have to do this one with the practice too. Shoot, I don't like to do that. Let's see. Copy link, send a copy, share the current workbook with. No, I feel like it's user1@cengage.com, but I need to get out under here to see what else is available. Nope. Oh well. All right, so I'll do it with the practice. Sorry about that. But it's good practice.
Share workbooks to OneDrive to make collaboration among colleagues easier. Click the File tab on the ribbon. Excel displays Backstage view. In the left pane, click Share. The Send Link dialog box is displayed, where you will specify with whom to share the workbook. The default option is anyone with the link can edit. You want to change this setting.
Okay.
Click the Anyone with the link can edit button.
Yeah, that makes sense because obviously they only wanted it to be that one person. Okay.
The Link Settings dialog box is displayed with a full list of sharing options.
All these specific people. Yeah.
Click Specific People.
Silly. Okay.
The Allow Editing checkbox is selected, and you will accept this setting. Click Apply.
Okay, so let's see. I did. I clicked that top thing, and I'll remember when I get there. Okay, and then specific people, I said, and allow editing. She said, is there? You click Apply.
The Send Link dialog box is displayed, where you will enter the email address for the person with whom you are sharing the workbook. Type user1@cengage.com at the insertion point. Excel will send a OneDrive link to the workbook to this email address. You can add a message to send along with the email. From the list of suggested contacts, choose user1@cengage.com.
Oh, so even though we just typed it, we still got to then click it. Okay.
Click the line of text is replaced by an insertion point. Type, please approve for distribution at the insertion point. Excel will send this message with the OneDrive link to the email address specified above.
I didn't put a period because I didn't say a
Click
period.
Send.
Oh, send. Okay.
Excel emails the link to your OneDrive workbook to the recipient, along with your message.
Okay. All right, so let's try this one now. So, File, move it over. So the File and Share was right. So File and Share. Okay. And then anyone with the link, no. You click this and say specific people. Then they said it would have a check mark. Yeah, allow editing, and then you say apply. So specific people, allow editing, apply. Okay. Now here is where I put type the user. So user 1, which is where I was trying to type it, but it didn't do what I didn't do everything right. That. Okay. Then click that person. So click it, and then add the message. Please approve for distribution with a capital P. So please approve for distribution and send it. Done. All right, number 4. Assign the defined name sales 2020 to range C5 to C13. So here is C5, here is C13. So these values now, all those values, they're basically wanting us to assign a defined name, sales 2020, to all of them. Okay, so to do that, we go into formulas, okay, and we go into define name, and we define the name, okay, and the defined name, they want it to be sales 2020 with a capital S and no space. So sales 2020 to range C5 to C13. That's definitely C5 down to C13. So just say okay. Done. All right, number 5. So 4 more to go. Create defined name. So create. In this case, I have to create the names for range A4 to E18 using the create from selection. Use the titles in the top row. Okay. So create define names for A4 to E18. So we click from A4 and go over to E and then down to 18. So we want from A4 over to E, you see the green border, and then down to E18, and you see the green border under all that. So that's done. All right, so create define name. So you, again, you go into the formulas, and we're creating it, create from selection. So that there's a choice for that one. See, so create from selection. Okay, over here, put that. And they said use the top row. Meaning what they want basically is, if I go up one more notch again, hopefully it won't ruin it. Oh, I can't go up a notch now. But they had titles above in A4, which we can't see. Anyway, they told us to put the check mark for top row. I didn't put it. It was already there. So that was the assumption they made. So use that, and then that's it. So then say OK. Oh, no. Oh, and then select the years range from the name using the name box. So now over here, we'll have those values. Oh, see, these are the values. A4 was client ID. B4 was first. C4 was last. D4 was name. And E4 is years. So now they're saying select the years range. So click years. Done. Okay, pretty cool. All right, number 6, but pretty easy as well. Save the current workbook as an Excel workbook with project sales as a new file name and store the new file in the documents folder. So we can either just click save. Oh, they don't want us to do it that way. That's really the way you can do it. And then you can, in the very next step, change where it goes. So they want us to do it the old-fashioned way. So file, save as, okay. Documents folder. So make sure you go to this PC first, okay. Then documents. So we're in documents, and then project space sales. Project space sales, capital P, capital S, and store it in the documents folder. So just say save. Done. All right, 2 more to go. Number 7. In cell B9, so here's B and here's 9, create a formula using the payment function to calculate. I did the payment function in the overview video, I think. It's a cool function. It's really nice, and it provides good information for people if they want to like buy a car as an example, or if they're getting to the point where they want to buy a condo or buy their first house or whatever. But it's a really cool function. Anyway, create a formula using the payment function in cell B9. So here's B9. Oops, B9, okay. Using interest rate and loan period values in B4 to B8. So B, yeah, using the values they already got. Okay. Enter the formula with a negative sign. Okay. So enter it with a negative sign. So we're going to say equal minus payment. So equal minus PMT open parenthesis. And now you see when you open it, this one has what we call arguments in here, and they want rate. Well, there's interest rate, and then there's monthly interest rate. Since we're doing a payment function, normally you pay a payment function over a period of months. So I don't want to pick the interest rate by itself. In other words, this one here, 0.4, is 5.00% divided by 12, because there's 12 months in a year. So we'll just click this one. All right, that. And then to go to the next value, you put a comma. And watch, see right now rate is in bold. When I do a comma, N per, which stands for number of periods, which basically means number of payments. Same thing. We don't want payment in years, which is 4. We want 4 times 12 is 48, because we're going to pay it out. I mean, most people pay out a loan over not the years. I mean, they pay it out over years, but based on months, right? So this one, 48. Okay. So then after that, we do a comma, and it'll then go to present value, PV. And present value is, well, how much was the loan right here? So loan amount. Okay. And then you close your parenthesis and enter. Done. And it tells you the monthly payment was $23,000 whatever on it. All right, this is the last one for all 4 trainings. In cell C9, create a formula using the future value function to calculate the accumulated investment amount using monthly rate, investment period, and investment amount in cells C6 to C8. Okay, so in this one here, this is sort of, instead of using a present value, which tells you how much you have to pay each month, what they want in this case is how much will this amount of money we're saving amount to in so many years. So here, it's the same thing, equal PMT. Okay, well, they're saying actually the FV. So let's just see if I can do it as FV, future value. Yeah, so equal FV, okay, and then open parenthesis, same thing, but this thing is going to basically take this amount and it's going to be applied monthly for all these months. So it's going to come out to a lot of money. All right. So rate is the first one again. So it's not interest rate annually, it's monthly, because again, it's still going to be doing this every month. So I'm going to assume it's this one. Okay. And then the comma. Okay. And then number of periods, again, it's either 36. Well, in this case, they didn't put the years. So 36 is what it's going to be. And then the comma is bringing us then to the next one, or the last one, which is going to be the payment. The payment is in negative because we're giving. We're somehow, it must be a company, because not many people can afford to put $20,000 away every month, but that's what they want this thing to do. And then you close the parenthesis and enter. And that tells you that it turns to $775,000. All right, that was number 8. I'm done. Okay, so now let me get out of here, go back to my video here. So what I have just demonstrated was to do the first 8 tasks for each of the 4 modules of training in Excel. Module 1, Module 2, Module 3, Module 4. The last one, if I remember, had, shoot, I forget now if it was 25 or 35. Anyway, there's at least 135 tasks in Excel. Okay, so it's a lot of work. So please hop to it, and we're going to have a couple more Excel videos. I'm going to have another Excel. Well, you already have one other Excel. I haven't shown it yet, but it'll be shown in class the day after the exam, maybe even the day after the exam. It's going to be an Excel overview. And this is Excel training. And then I'll have one more Excel video called an Excel Module 1 project demonstration. That'll come in a couple weeks. All right. Have a great day, and I'll see you in class.